Hello and welcome back. Well, I should say I'm welcome back. I don't know. Life has been lifing, so it's been a minute since I've posted, and as you could tell, I've hacked all my hair off. I don't care if you don't like it, because I do. But whatever. Um, so little update. KK's been back from school, hence why I haven't posted in a minute. So we've been doing that, and then my full-time job has been kind of crazy because our fiscal year ended July 1, so everybody was getting their last minute stuff in, and when I had to do that. Um, so today we're going to do Am I an Asshole? I'm going to say I'm an asshole, but you guys might disagree. So your girl thought it was a good idea to put herself out there and start dating. That was a horrible idea. Horrible. But, so here's the story. Decided I didn't want to do Match or whatever, all that stuff, because they can send pictures. And those, I don't want those pictures. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. We don't want those. If I didn't ask for it, I don't want it. Keep it to yourself. But that's Max. Sorry. He's trying to get the cat in the hallway. But anyways, so I had some friends that did Facebook dating, or he's just not having it today. Anyways, so, and they had good luck with it. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. Well, I met this guy. And at first, I didn't know that we had met, but we had matched. And he never messaged me. I never messaged him because I'm not the go forward type person, you know? So you need to message me first if that would. So, but I had added my Snapchat on there because I didn't really check the Facebook dating that often. So I just added my Snap because I'm always on Snap. And he added me on Snap, but then still never messaged me. This was in January. Now let's jump forward to March. And y'all know I have issues sleeping. So if I don't take my meds, I don't sleep. It is horrid. So it was like 3 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, well, Friday. And I did a snap saying, fuck my life, or FML. And he messaged and he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, I just forgot to take my night meds, or by the time I realized it, it was too late, so I'm not going to sleep. I hate talking on the phone. Everybody that knows me knows this. I absolutely despise talking on the phone. And he called me on Snapchat. And we actually talked for 3 hours. And it didn't faze me. Like, we were just talking about all different types of things. And so it was like a steady conversation. So it didn't bother me that much. Plus, I was freaking beyond exhausted and couldn't sleep. So I didn't realize that much time had passed. So we get off the phone. I fall asleep for like an hour. And then I send him a snap. And then we just start dating. Or we didn't start dating. But that following week, that Friday, he asked me to dinner. So we met up and went to dinner. And then from there, we were like kind of inseparable, but separable, if that makes sense, because we, you know, he lives in another town than I do. So it was a 30-minute commute back and forth. So everything was going great. And then come June, he's having a bad day, which I get. You're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to express said feelings. But what you're not allowed to do is have those feelings and then threaten me and expect me to be okay with it. On top of, I had just previously caught him a few days prior lying to me about a drug issue, which I had stated from the beginning, I will not be around somebody that does this because it is my responsibility to handle my triggers. And since I've been sober from that said drug since 2005, it was my responsibility to make sure I took care of my triggers. And he said, fine, it's done. I won't do it anymore. That was it. Well, the Tuesday before I had broke up with him, I come over and it's sitting on the end table next to the couch. And I'm like, I'm going to go home. And he's like, why? And then I just look at it, and then I shit you not, y'all, I picked this stuff up and I put it down the sink. Was that a dick move? Absolutely. Do I care? Absolutely not. Because he knows I do not want to be around it. He had 45 minutes before I even got there to get rid of it, and he chose to keep it out. He didn't even try to hide it. So that was on a Tuesday. And then I want to say like two or 3 days later, we get into this fight because he's mad about work, and an ex was messaging him and running at her mouth, and he proceeds to threaten me because he's pissed off at her. Excuse me, sir. I have nothing to do with that. I've done nothing to piss you off. So for you to sit there and think you are going to be that way towards me, we're not having it. I'm good. So I told him, I'm done. A few weeks go by, he's still messaging me every day, blowing out my phone, calling, because he needs to hear people's voices to get their tone, to vibe and whatever. No, you don't. Because 90% of our conversations, I'm just sitting there saying nothing. And it's you talking just to talk. Maximus, lay down. Sorry. Anyways, so I tell him I'll think about working things out. He's telling me, he's telling me what he thinks I want to hear. And that's, I've worked on myself and that'll never happen again, and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Ends up starting a fight with me because he doesn't like the answer that I need to think about this. Because I've been in abusive relationships, verbally, mentally, physical. I've been there. So that is something I felt I needed to think about. Is this a red flag I'm willing to live with for the rest of my life? Or however long that relationship would have went on. And that wasn't good enough for him. He needed an answer right then and there. No, we're not doing that. So that was another argument. Now, mind you, in the previous months, we hadn't had any fights. So this new behavior it's all new to me. Well, then in the end of June, beginning of July, he's, still continuing with the saying what he thinks I want to hear. And then I had a family issue that popped up, and then he just shows up and he's being supportive, you need anything, if you guys need anything, let me know. All that stuff, right? And then I tell him again, this is something I have to think about, because this is, these are red flags. All this is red flags. You're love bombing, you're cool one day, you're ugh the next, and it's stuff I need to seriously sit and think about. Well, after the whole family thing, I ended up getting like this horrid sinus infection. So like I was miserable. I had fevers, I couldn't breathe. It was just, all I wanted to do was sleep. Well, he starts an argument with me because I don't I don't want to talk on the phone. Like, I can't fucking breathe. My head hurts, and I'm sorry I'm cussing so much, but this makes me annoyed, like really bad. But we'll censor it out later. It's fine. We'll just bleep it. Um, and I'm like, I don't want to talk right now. I don't feel good. I've been sleeping. Like, I woke up from a nap and I had like 6 missed calls and 10 text messages. Like, bro, if I'm not answering, obviously I'm asleep because we all know I just go to work and home. I don't do anything. I'm a full homebody. And he's like, well, I guess it's very insecure comments that he was making. I guess there's somebody else and blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, that would require me to people. And we all know I don't people. I don't people. Because a lot of the times you're not the brightest crayons in the box, which he is showing he is one of them at this point. And I'm like, I don't feel good. He was like, you can't even give me 2 seconds to talk on the phone. I was like, I've been sick for 2 days and you're making this about you and what you want. I'm going to need you to stop. I don't feel good. I don't have the energy for this. And he continues to keep going for hours. I just quit responding because I'm not dealing with it. My peace is more important than you. It's just that simple. So am I the asshole? Because I completely blocked him. Like, he can't message me, call me, nothing. And since I have an iPhone, I can still listen to his voicemails because it has this nifty feature in the voicemail box thing that I can go to blocked messages and then I can still listen to his voicemails. I have 40 voicemails. So I can only imagine how many calls there are. And then on my book of faces in the notifications in Messenger, sometimes it says that I have a missed call from him that didn't come through because he's blocked. So that was at least 8 missed calls just last week. And it's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe, since I told him to go himself. So I don't know. I've just decided I'm not gonna date because I don't have patience for it. I don't have the patience. There is no, I can't do it. I would like to do it because having a person is amazing when you're being treated like you should be. But when you're threatened and belittled or making you question your own sanity because they're gaslighting you, it is not worth it to me at all. I rather be alone and single than stressed and miserable and walking on eggshells. No relationship is worth that to me at all, ever. So would you say I'm the asshole because I just blocked him? I'm gonna say no, but others may disagree. I don't know. But how are you guys doing with dating? Like, have you tried dating since becoming an empty nester, or are you just like enjoying the peace? Because I'm still trying to figure out the peace part and being alone in an empty house. Like, KK's been home since May, and I have a love hate for it. And it's weird because I love that she's home, and I love that I get to see her every day. But then at the same time, I'm like, when you go back to school, I'm just kidding, KK, I love you. Uh, it's just I'm having to clean more than I was for the past how many months and cook more. And KK called me. She said I become a crap. What'd she say it was? I don't know. She called me something, and it's where the parents don't go to the grocery stores often. And I was like, well, it was just me. So what do I need to go to the grocery store for? If I need something, I just grab what I need, and then or I go out to eat. So I don't. But now I got to go to the grocery store and make sure there's food in the house so she can eat if she's not eating at work. And yeah, I had to adjust to her leaving for school, and I got to adjust from her being home from school. I do not like this. It is too much back and forth for me. And I don't like it. I don't like the constantly having to clean when my house was clean all the time before she got home. And now I got to constantly clean it again. And this is not what I signed up for when I signed up to be an adult. I wanted to be able to take naps whenever I wanted. I wanted to be able to do grown things. And that is it. Not this paying the bills and figuring out which bill's coming out of which check and all this other stuff. I just want to take naps, do grown stuff, and build Legos and watch Harry Potter. So, yeah, I don't think dating is for me. I've officially given up because this is not, or maybe I was just born in the wrong generation, because this new generation is all about the hookup culture, and that is not me at all. And people are gross. Say what you want, people are gross. They'll be out here doing anything and everything with anybody. No. Mm-mm. People are gross. But anyways, I don't get it. It's like my generation, and I'm not going to say all of us because some of us have morals and values and self-respect, but a lot of them, none. Zero. Doing anything and everything with anybody and everybody. And then they're teaching their kids that. And then it's no. So I will stay single. It's safer that way and doesn't require an antibiotic. If it can use an antibiotic. So yeah, we're not dating over here. We're gonna stay single and empty nesting for till our last breath because I can't do it. Y'all can do it. I ain't doing it because people are gross and a lot of people are stupid. I said what I said. I said it with my chest, and I'll say it to your face. But yeah, I don't know. I want to hear how you guys are doing with your empty nesting and trying to date. And do you have issues with your kids liking the person that you're dating? Because a lot of people that I've tried to date, KK is not having it. But that's because she's very protective of her mama, which I love and appreciate. But sometimes she's a little too overprotective. And it's like, you need to dial it back there, girl, because you're doing a little extra. You guys liking my wall? It's not done yet, but I got a whole DIY project I'm gonna do back there. And another spooky sign. Let's see if I can move this. It lights up purple. And we got Tessa back there. Don't mind my box. So I'm in the middle of switching rooms for my office / craft room / yeah. It's a little bit of everything in here. So, but KK has 2 bedrooms because her bed takes up most of her room. So it's just trying to get everything where it needs to be in places for everything. I need to do a deep clean and get rid of a lot of stuff. But there's a whole idea for this wall. I got some of it up, and then I got a big DIY project I'm gonna put back there to hide some of those cords. And you can't really see it in the camera, but there's a bat that also lights up. It's like right here. It lights up purple to match the mirror. And then I got some signage stuff because, I love me some Halloween. So it's going to be like a spooky bats and all that stuff wall. I think I'm going to paint that wall too. Might go black with it just to go with the vibe of the whole spooky season, because as of July 5th, it is officially spooky season. You can argue with your mama about otherwise, because that is officially spooky season. You don't believe me? Google it. Google's your friend. And we already got code oranges everywhere. So, speaking of code oranges, oh, I got the 12-foot skeleton. His name is Scully, and he will be going up in September. Maybe sooner. We'll see. It depends if I have help, because he's 12 foot, so I'm gonna need help standing him up. And I got some other DIY stuff I'm gonna do for it, and I need to get some more skeletons for what I have in my head that I want to do for the yard this year for Halloween instead of just the inflatables. So it should be interesting, to say the least. But we'll see. We're gonna do a big cauldron that is maybe like 4 feet tall, I want to say, and I'm gonna do it all out of pool noodles and spray foam. So maybe I'll do some clips on how I do that and put it on the Book of Faces page if you guys are interested, and you guys can follow that page. It's Single with an Empty Nest. And we'll have stuff on there on how I'm getting the yard ready for spooky season and all of that. I'm kind of excited this year because I got Scully, and I've been wanting one since they came out, and I did not have $300 to go and spend on a skeleton. Shout out to Lisa, because she gave me one that was just hanging out in her garage. So I got Scully for free, and he's never been out the box. So this is going to be fun. So the plan is to have Scully, and I got all the different lights and that you put outside that, do the little circle and all that stuff. And then I'm going to do the big cauldron. I'm going to make that, and then the spray foam at the bottom with some orange lights so it looks like it's on fire. And then we'll probably do some purple lights inside to make it look like there's a potion going on. And then I want to get the little skeletons to go around it, kind of like they're worshiping Scully and making a big potion all together. I think it'll be fun. It'll definitely give me something to do because Kayla's supposed to go back to school next month. We're not sure exactly how that's going to go since she hasn't been able to work the past few weeks because she had got sick and still hasn't been released to go back to work. So we'll see how it goes. If she has to stay home a little longer, I'm okay with that too. I like having her around. I'm not as bored all the time because I have somebody to talk to. And since I don't people besides her and my best friend, that's the gist of my conversations as of lately, because I've learned I've become very feral since I don't bartend anymore. So yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm trying to work on that. I really am. Like, I need to get outside of my bubble and people more. So I've signed up to do some stuff with my full-time job, so that way I'm engaging with other people outside of work, but during work. And I need to start focusing on this more so I can get this going. Like, not that it will ever, be something to pay the bills. I'm not that talkative. I can be, but I'm really not. And yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I will keep you guys posted on the Book of Faces and on how the the spooky season DIYs are going, and maybe do some reels on there and on how I build whatever I'm building at the time and how I decide to do what I'm going to do, because it may change because I have ADHD, and so why my videos are always all over the place. But you guys love me, so I love that. So until next time, let me know, am I the asshole in your toxic relationship issues or whatever? Maybe I can help. I've been in quite a few, because apparently when you grow up in a toxic environment, you think that's normal because that's all you knew. So when you get therapy and learn to set boundaries, you learn that it's not normal. So we'll get this. We'll figure this whole adulting and single and empty nesting out eventually. Maybe. Hopefully soon. Because, yeah. Yeah. But let me know your stories. Let me know how your single and empty nesting is going. Let me know your toxic relationships. Let me know if you have ideas for spooky season. What were you going to any parties, any of the masquerade balls? Where are all this? I know in Illinois we don't have a whole lot. Like this year, I think I did see one where there's like a third annual Halloween ball. May look into that just because I haven't been to a ball and I think it would be fun. But we'll see. You never know. It just depends on how things are going and what it's going to cost, because I'm not going to spend a ridiculous amount of money to go to a ball that is not worth what they want to charge, which I've seen a lot of those, by the way. You go and you look at previous years and you're like, you want this much for that? I'll pass. Yeah, let me know. We'll have a conversation. The messages are open on the Book of Faces. So if you guys want to send me a message over there, or you can comment, whatever, we'll just figure it all out together. All right? Bye.